In the late 1800s, nestled in the shadowy woods of a forgotten town, lived Victor Grayson, a skilled yet reclusive dollmaker. Victor was no ordinary artisan, known for crafting dolls so lifelike that they seemed to watch you with every step. His creations became the obsession of collectors far and wide. But Victor's life was steeped in sorrow. After a tragic fire claimed the lives of his wife and young daughter, his grief consumed him. Determined to preserve his daughter's memory, Victor set out to create a doll unlike any other. Using forbidden texts rumored to call upon spirits, he hoped to trap her soul within a porcelain vessel. But something went horribly wrong. The soul he summoned was not his daughter's. It was something dark, vengeful, and hungry. He named the doll Isabel after his child, but it was clear from the start that Isabel was no ordinary doll. Victor's paranoia grew with each passing day. He swore that Isabel moved when no one was watching, her lifelike glass eyes following him, her painted smile curling into a sneer. Late at night, he would hear faint giggles and the soft patter of tiny feet. One morning, Victor's lifeless body was discovered slumped over his workbench, his throat slit with a carving knife. The workshop was in disarray, but Isabel was nowhere to be found. Decades passed and Victor's story faded into a chilling local legend, one the townsfolk whispered about but never dared to investigate. That is until Claire, a spirited young woman, inherited an old Victorian house on the outskirts of the same woods. The house, once belonging to her late grandmother, was a sprawling, creaky mansion filled with antiques and cobweb-covered relics. Exploring the attic on her first night, Claire stumbled upon a large wooden chest, its rusty chains giving way with an eerie groan. Inside was a doll unlike any she had ever seen. Isabel's lifelike glass eyes sparkled in the dim light, and her delicate white lace dress looked impossibly pristine despite the years. Claire couldn't shake the unsettling feeling the doll gave her, but she dismissed it as her imagination. She placed Isabel on her dresser, unaware of the horrors she had just unleashed. That night, Claire awoke to the sound of faint tapping, as though tiny fingers were drumming against her window. She sat up, heart pounding, and scanned the room. The doll was still on the dresser, but something about its position seemed different. Isabel's head, once tilted slightly to the side, now faced Claire directly. Dismissing it as a trick of the light, Claire went back to bed, but sleep did not come easy. The tapping turned to faint giggles, and the air in the room grew icy. By morning, Claire convinced herself it was all a bad dream. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. Objects moved on their own. Doors creaked open despite being locked. Claire found Isabel in places she hadn't left her. On the kitchen counter, in the bathroom, and once on her bed with her tiny hand resting on Claire's pillow. The breaking point came one evening when Claire found the doll in the bathtub, water dripping from its porcelain hands. The doll's painted smile seemed wider, more sinister. Claire's screams echoed through the house as she hurled Isabel into the trash bin outside. But by the time she returned to her room, Isabel was sitting on her dresser, completely dry, her glass eyes gleaming with malevolence. Desperate for answers, Claire delved into the town's archives and uncovered the chilling history of Victor Grayson. She learned about his attempt to trap his daughter's soul, and the horrifying death that followed. Isabel wasn't just a doll. She was a vessel for a vengeful spirit, one that had claimed countless lives since Victor's death. Claire sought help from a local historian who warned her to burn the doll before it claimed her as its next victim. He gave her a stern warning: the spirit will fight back. Whatever you do, don't stop once you've started. That night, Claire built a fire pit in her backyard. Clutching Isabel tightly, she hesitated as the doll seemed to grow heavier, her lifelike features shifting into a grotesque snarl. As she threw the doll into the flames, the air around her exploded with an unearthly scream. Shadows twisted and writhed in the smoke, and Claire swore she saw the faint outline of a young girl, her face contorted in rage. The flames consumed Isabel, and the doll cracked and melted. Claire fell to her knees, sobbing with relief as silence finally returned. But just as she thought it was over, a chilling laugh echoed through the woods, and the shadows disappeared into the night. Days later, Claire tried to move on, but the nightmares wouldn't stop. She dreamed of Isabel standing at the foot of her bed, her porcelain face burned and cracked, her voice a chorus of whispers. Each time, Claire awoke gasping for air, her heart racing as though she'd been running for miles. One evening, while cleaning the attic, Claire froze in horror. The wooden chest she had found weeks ago was back, its chains intact. Trembling, she opened the lid. Inside was Isabel, her porcelain face flawless once more. Her glass eyes locked onto Claire with a murderous hunger. Claire screamed, but before she could move, the attic door slammed shut, and the room was consumed by darkness. The next morning, the house was silent. The neighbors, growing concerned, called the authorities, but Claire was gone. The only thing they found was the doll, sitting perfectly still in the center of the attic, her smile wider than ever. And so Isabel waits, her glass eyes gleaming, her porcelain hands clutching at shadows, ready for the next unsuspecting soul to claim.